is, I think, the more significant point of discussion for us today as common citizens, as the custodians of our democracy. So, I would like to highlight a couple of points with respect to the significance of voting in our democracy and what lies in store for us if we do not exercise it wisely and effectively. सबसे पहली बात है, politics is too important to be left to politicians alone. And believe my words, this country and this democracy belongs to us, not to politicians and not to political parties. We must feel the sense of ownership of this constitution and this democracy as the masters of this democracy. We are the masters. The official designation of everybody in this country, right from the president down to the lowest government functionary in this system, is public servants. They are public servants. President is also a public servant, and the class 4 person in a panchayat is also a public servant. Who are the masters? We, the people of India, are the masters of the system, and we are the custodians of the system. So let us exercise this right with full sense of empowerment, with full sense of ownership of this system. It is our system, and if we don't take decisions about our system, who else would do so? अगर मेरे घर के बारे में मैं डिसीजन नहीं लूंगा तो और कौन लेगा? और इसीलिए जरूरी है कि हम ये डिसीजन लें किसी के फेवर में या किसी के अगेंस्ट में हम वोट दें. Ideologically and politically, we have to decide what we stand for and what we stand against. And a vote is the most vocal medium of conveying this to the powers, to the parties, to the politicians, that thus far and no further. So, that is one reason. Second, politics is too important to be neglected. जीवन का कोई भी ऐसा क्षेत्र नहीं है जो पॉलिटिक्स से आज इन्फ्लुएंस नहीं हो रहा है. प्राइवेट लाइफ भी इन्फ्लुएंस हो रही है और पब्लिक लाइफ तो हो ही रही है, और सब चीज इन्फ्लुएंस हो रही है. हम रास्ते में गलत जगह पर पार्किंग करेंगे तो कितना फाइन देना पड़ेगा, वो भी पॉलिटिक्स से इन्फ्लुएंस होता है. हमारे बच्चों को जब इंजीनियरिंग में एडमिशन लेना है तो कितनी फी वो पे करेगा, वो भी पॉलिटिक्स से इन्फ्लुएंस होता है. और न्यूक्लियर बॉम्ब साउथ एशिया में यूज किया जाएगा कि नहीं, वो भी पॉलिटिक्स से इन्फ्लुएंस होता है. सो ऑलमोस्ट एवरी डिसीजन, एवरी एक्टिविटी ऑफ आवर लाइफ टुडे, इंक्लूडिंग ऑफ आवर प्राइवेट लाइफ, इज greatly influenced, critically influenced by politics and political decisions. And political decisions are taken by legislators in our system, principally by the parliament, which in turn constitutes the government. So more than Vidhan Sabha election, it is the parliamentary elections which critically decide the fate of the nation, the fate of its people, our future, our economy, our foreign policy, our security, our safety, our dignity, our rights, our duties, everything. Now when such critical decisions are going to be taken by these 542 people, it is our bounden duty to ensure that best people get elected and represent us in the parliament and take the best possible decisions for the welfare and the good of this country and its people. And it is only through our wise and rational voting behavior that we can ensure this to the maximum possible extent. So politics is very critical, and therefore we need to vote. We need to vote in large numbers, and we also need to vote wisely and effectively. Thirdly, vote is a means of change. If we can bring about change with a very fundamental effect in any political system, it is only through vote. Bad governments, bad politicians are elected by good people who do not vote. And let us not become such good people who do not vote and then curse the bad politicians, as Ramesh Viven told us in the movie or the short. short film that she screened here. And lastly, as I said, voting wisely. We should not only tell everybody to vote. That is, I think, incomplete statement. We must tell people to vote wisely after considering all candidates, their antecedents, their background, their capacities, their ideologies, their convictions, their potential to do good and to do bad both, and then cast our vote. No democracy expects its people only to say that you vote. Every democracy expects people to vote wisely and rationally. And therefore, this campaign is not only about asking you to vote. This campaign is also about asking you to vote wisely and rationally, so that our democracy and our society gets strengthened. And if you feel that everybody is the same, there is no difference, even then Supreme Court has now given us one button. And even that power is granted to the Indian citizens to give their opinion. So, in conclusion, I would say that every vote matters. Each one of us matters. And if we don't exercise that power now, 5 years would be too long a period for us to reclaim our power to change the situations. And therefore, I once again, on behalf of the university, appeal to you and request to each one of you to cast your vote without fail and to ensure that we get the best government for India that is really going to become one of the great countries in very near future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing the nuances behind strengthening the Indian democracy and our role as masters in casting the vote. Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Yogesh Singh is a visionary under whose leadership the MS University of Baroda recently underwent a thorough modernization revamp when a technological mold was created for the administrative functions. He has also created a positive synergy in the campus, enabling networking and interaction of the university with various other academic institutions. Sir, it is an honor to have you here. I request you to please address the audience.
Good evening to all of you. Professor M.N. Parma, Dean Faculty of Social Work, Professor Ravi Solokia, Registrar of the University, Professor Ramesh Pandya, Director, Student Welfare, Dr. D.P. Chopra, Dean, Faculty of Journalism and Mass Communication, respected Senate and Syndicate members, invited guests, teachers, deans and professors, head of the departments of various faculties, and my dear students. It's a matter of privilege and honor for all of us to be here in a seminar or an awareness program where the title is Strengthening Democracy, Strengthening India Through Vote. Is there anyone in this hall who was born before August 15, 1947? Anyone? No. No one is here. So it means what? We have not seen. Nobody in this hall has seen the slavery. You must have read many stories about British India, but you have not experienced British India. We all are very lucky that we born in independent India. One poet has rightly said, मिले शुष्क रोटी जो आजाद रहकर, मिले शुष्क रोटी जो आजाद रहकर, वो गुलामी के हलवे से बेहतर. So we all are very lucky that we were born in independent, democratic India. You may be surprised, I would like to tell you 2-3 stories of British India. How the life was difficult at that time. As we all know, Britishers established 3 Indian universities in 1857. University and 3 presidencies. One was University of Bombay, one was University of Madras, and third was University of Calcutta. Then, when in 1900, Tata wanted to establish a university for science and technology. They were feeling that we have to establish industries in our country, so we need people who can deliver in science and technology. So they wanted to establish. When proposal was made to the Viceroy of British India, he rejected the proposal. He said very smartly, you do not have industries. You do not understand the meaning of industrialization. If we establish a university here, then the students who will pass out from this university, British India will not be able to give them jobs. So there is no need to have such a university in our country. Proposal was rejected somewhere in 1901 or 1902. And then he further said that I feel that Indians do not have the scientific rigor and temperament. Imagine the situation. What was the attempt of Tata's? They wanted to establish a university for science and technology. Today, in independent India, if we today decide to establish 100 universities in our country, tomorrow we can establish. But lots of struggle and hard work after that, after many years, what we call in Bangalore now Indian Institute of Science. At that point of time, that was Tata Institute of Science was established. After lots of struggle. Second very interesting incident. Tata established Sir Ratan Tata Department. Sir Ratan Tata Department in London School of Economics. They gave generous donation to the London School of Economics in 1911. Why I am telling you? Because these things are directly related to independence of India and our pride. They established a department named Sir Ratan Tata Department in London School of Economics. Today that department is known as Department of Social Science in London School of Economics. In 1913, when positions were advertised, there were 2 applicants. One applicant was Clement Attlee. किसी को ध्यान है वो कौन है आदमी? Clement Attlee was one of the opposition leaders, and he was selected as lecturer in London School of Economics, Department of Sir Ratan Tata Department in 1913, which was sponsored by an Indian. And after that, when he became President of President of Britain, then we got independence. At that point of time, Clement Attlee was the Prime Minister of Britain. And in their manifesto they said, if we come in power, we will explore the possibility of giving independence to India. If Churchill would have won the election, he would not have won the independence. At one point of time, the British decided to sell India to US. Sell India because they were having lots of debt of World War I and World War II. They wanted to sell India, but thankfully the President of the United States, Roosevelt, he rejected the idea. He said, no, we don't want to purchase India. Imagine, that was the state of affair at that point of time.